Menus can make or break your restaurant. That's why having the right menu for your restaurant is so important. If you have a good menu, your profit could increase by 15%. In this comprehensive video, I'm going to show you how to create a menu that will make your restaurant a lot more profitable. Before we start with the details, I want to tell you that only 10% of restaurants are engineering their menus properly. So by you engineering your menu and setting up the right menu, it could give you a competitive edge over your competitors. The guy who started the menu engineering science was a professor at the Michigan State University. His name is Michael Casavana. I hope I'm pronouncing his name properly. He also wrote a very good book about this topic, and since he started the menu engineering science, this science has evolved rapidly throughout the years. I think he wrote the book in the 1980s, so from the 1980s till today, we have learned a lot. I mean, not us only, but as humans, we have learned a lot. I read a case study about two guys in Montreal who opened their restaurant there, and they were struggling to get people to come back to their restaurant, and they tried all the different tactics, but nothing worked out for them. And they decided to change their menu in a way that will match their target customers and follow the science behind menu engineering. They did a lot of different things, and because of that, they were able to get so many orders, and they were able to increase their profit rapidly. And just by them changing their menu, they got a lot of more return customers than what they had before. So engineering your menu properly could give you an increase of 15% in your revenue. Studies show that your customers would spend 109 seconds on average looking at your menu. So you're going to make these 109 seconds very valuable and very profitable for your business. And please keep in mind, there's no set standard menu for all restaurants. Every restaurant is different. You gotta create a menu that matches your restaurant concept and matches your target customers. Look at the difference between McDonald's menu and Gordon Ramsay's menu. It's a huge difference. Each of them has a different concept and serving different customers, although both of them follow the menu engineering concepts. So let's get started with the practical actions. Step number 1, please write down 3 things. Who are your target customers? What is your restaurant concept? And what highlights your restaurant between your competitors? What makes you you? So what makes your restaurant so unique? The very first thing you need to write is what is your restaurant concept? And then who do you serve and what makes your restaurant better than others? So the unique selling points about your restaurant. So you could probably serving an ethnic food that other people in your areas are not able to serve. There's a possibility that your food is so authentic that it tastes like back home, or your burgers are made from like fresh meat, or your chicken is fried with with very fresh oil, or your pizza is healthy pizza. So stuff like this that will make your restaurant very unique. Sometimes if you have one store, your value proposition could be the location. So you are the only restaurant that serves this kind of food in your area. So sometimes your restaurant concept is not very unique, but your business has a competitive advantage. Make sure you have that. Step number 2, write down all of your menu items and know the profitability of every item and the popularity. So you gotta know how much is it costing you to make this item and what is the profit margin out of this item. How much money are you making? And write the profit margin you are making out of this item and how popular this item is. How often do your target customers order it? Step number 3, take all of your items on the menu and put them into these 4 quadrants. Q1 or the star if this menu item is very profitable and very popular. What you need to do with this menu item, you need to grab the attention to that item. The other thing that you need to pay attention to with this item, never change it as long as it's selling. Do not add items to it. Do not remove items from it because it is selling. So do not play with it, please. So please do not play with it. Just keep it the way it is. Now let's jump into Q3. I know we are skipping Q2, but I'll tell you about Q2 in a bit. So this item that is so profitable but not popular, this is a hidden goal for your restaurant. So what you need to do is improve the description of that menu item. Probably improve the presentation, the way you present it to your customers. Improve the pictures you have of that menu item on your menu. And make this item as Instagrammable as possible. Get your staff to promote it even more than the Q1 item. What you could do is offer it once a week with a limited time offer and advertise it so it's always in the mind of your target customers because it's very profitable for you, but it's not so popular. So run an awareness ad, although I'm not a big fan of awareness ads, but run an awareness ad for this menu item. You could possibly do that. And now let's do Q2, which is the horse. This item is so popular, but it's not profitable. And your job here is to make it more profitable. You could either get your suppliers to give you a better offer of these things that they are supplying you with, or you could use some upsell tactics to make more money when people order that item. So either they order more of it or they order other items when they're ordering it. So for example, if you have a burger sandwich that is not so profitable, use some upsell tactics to get people to buy a fries on the side or any of the sides that you could offer. So we did Q1, Q2, Q3. Now we're going to go with the Q4. Q4 are the items that are not popular and not profitable. You're not getting so many orders of that item and you're not making so much money out of it. So you could either remove this item completely from your menu or tweak it to make it more popular and more profitable with the same tactics that we talked about earlier, how to make an item more profitable and how to make it more popular. Or just simply remove it out of your menu. So after you put your items in these 4 quadrants, now choose the style of the menu that you want to have. Make sure the style matches the concept of your restaurant and matches your target customers. What you could do is look at other competitors, see what they are doing, and find something that matches you. Never copy, but understand what's going on in the market. Now let's jump into the psychology of the menu design. After you chose your style of menu that matches your concept and your target customers, now we're gonna know these psychology tricks. Number 1 is the paradox of choice. When it's too difficult for people to make a choice, they would rather not make it, which is contradictory of what so many restaurant owners think. They think that they have to put so many options in their menu, which is wrong. Make your menu easy to understand, easy to navigate, and make it easy for people to make a decision. Yes, do have variety of items, but do not have so many items on your menu. Overall, just make choice very easy for your customers. Based on the most cited research paper in the world, 7 is the optimal number of choices. So do not put more than 7 choices for your target customers. Number 2, the dollar sign. A lot of people think putting the 99 is something good, but it's not the case with restaurants. So some people think, let's say the menu item is $20, they put $19.99. Some people think it's better. With restaurants, that's not the case, unless you're trying to show that your menu item is very affordable. If you want to put some fraction, put 95 instead of 99. So instead of you putting $19.99, put $19.95. This looks better. But if you don't use it, that's even better. Remove the dollar sign as much as you can, because the dollar sign would always remind people that they will have to pay money for the items that they will order. Remove the 0.00. So let's say the menu item is $9. Some people write 9.00. Do not do that. Put 9 only. Make the price easy to read. Make the price easy to read. Do not complicate it. Do not highlight the price. Do not make it bold. Do not make it bigger than the description or the name of the item. Try to integrate it with the description or the menu item. Remove the dotted line that will guide people to the price. Remove the chart that has prices, because people are going to pay attention at the money they will spend rather than paying attention at the description or whatever they're going to order. Some studies show that odd numbers are better than even numbers on the menu. So put 7 instead of 8, or put 21 instead of 20. Number 3, eye movement. Although scientists differ between which point of these 3 points that I'm going to tell you about people look at first, but pay attention to these 3 points: the middle of the page, the right corner, and the left corner. So the items that you want to sell more of, put them either in the middle, the right corner, or the left corner. Remember, chances are the very first products your customers are going to look at, this is the product they will buy. So make sure you put the products that are most profitable to you either in the middle, the top right corner, or the top left corner, because this is where people are going to pay attention to. So some studies show that if your menu is like a book, the very first thing people are going to pay attention to is the top left corner, because this is how people read books, and this is the very first place that people are going to pay attention to. So put the item that will generate you the most amount of profit on that place. Remember, you always want to bring the attention to the item that is going to generate you the most amount of profit. If you want to highlight certain menu item, put it in a box, or make it bold, or make the font bigger, or bring the attention to that menu item specifically. If you bring attention to all menu items, people are not going to pay attention to any specific thing, but always remember that for every page, there is 1 to 3 focus point only. Keep in mind, really good pictures will make people more likely to order that menu item. So always have really good pictures of the items that you want people to order more of, and these pictures should match the menu concept you have. Number 4, the anchoring effect. So if you want people to think of a menu item as a very good deal, put it next to an expensive item, because people are going to compare both items. Costco does that so well. When you enter Costco, they put TVs and laptops and very expensive items in the beginning of your shopping journey. So you look at the prices, you think the prices are very expensive. But when you look at other items inside Costco, although probably they're expensive, but you compare them to the very first items you saw when you entered Costco. So always pay attention to that. Number 5, make your menu very scannable. If you really love your menu, chances are, even if your customers also love your menu, they're not going to love it as much as you. They're not going to read every single part of your menu. They will read only the things that matter most to them, and they will pay attention to the things that you bring the attention to. If you do not have so many menu items, include the drinks on the same menu. If you have many menu items, have a separate menu for the drinks. And by the way, I'm not talking about the alcohol drinks because we're not specialized in that. I'm talking about the cold beverages like juice, pop drinks, and the other stuff that people drink, the non-alcoholic drinks. Have a really good description that will engage people and make them enticed to order that menu item. Always try to engage as many senses as possible with your menu. Number 6, the default bias. People are more likely to stick to the default, so make sure the default is very profitable to you. When you have a specific sandwich or a specific pizza, just tell people, oh, you want to stick to the default, so people are more likely to stick to the default, and make sure that default is very profitable to you. Number 7 is scarcity. If something is limited or therefore a limited time only, people tend to perceive it as more valuable. So if you have menu items that you have limited number of, or you are running it for a very specific amount of time, you could charge higher for it. When you create your menu, it should match your concept, matches your target customers, and change your menu at least once or twice every year, and test different things and see whichever one works best for you. So some menu items are more profitable in specific times of the year. So you could have probably 2 menus every year. You could put in one menu, you remove it, and then add another menu. So you could have limited time menus depending on your restaurant. Make sure the purpose of the menu is profitability. Do not be emotionally attached to any menu you create. Always have numbers choose for you. So whichever menu is more profitable for you, whichever items are more profitable for you, choose these menus. Always choose the items and the menus that will get you the most amount of profit. So we sometimes give free menu design consultations to 3 to 5 different restaurants every month. So send us a message on Instagram or send us an email and tell us that you want a free menu design consultation. We could be able to help you with that. We always try to help and give back to the restaurant owners community as much as we can. The other thing is, if you want us to design your menu completely, we have very good food stylists, we have really good food photographers, and we have really good menu engineers that we work with. We can help you out with that and craft the menu that will be very profitable for your business. And remember, you have our email, you have our Instagram. We're always ready to help. I hope this video was a very helpful video for you. If you want us to design your menu completely and make your menu a lot more profitable for you, let us know. You have our contacts.